So what's going on, everybody? JA News. Salute to you for tuning in. So we're going to be jumping into the latest sneaker updates. Coming up on today's show, we had Nike hit us with a good old-fashioned shock drop, a release which caught many people off guard. So as far as Nike and the surprise releases, it looks like the shock drops will continue. Of course, we'll be touching on stock numbers, all that good stuff. Plus, we got an update in regards to Nike announcing that their prices will be increasing. Guys, if you enjoy these updates, make sure you smash the like button down below. I need everybody's support. Plus, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. You're watching JA News. Let's go ahead and kick things off with the Nike release that absolutely nobody asked for. Now, when you're talking Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4s, this is a sneaker release which many people would say hasn't been topped as far as 2025 releases go so far. A sneaker which, as you can imagine, resale prices have skyrocketed so much that it's an indicator, that people are definitely willing to dish out top dollars for this hype collaboration. So much that it feels like a restock would be great right about now. Recently, we did see a restock go down overseas, but for everybody else, unfortunately, it looks like these joints have dropped via Fortnite, which to me is crazy. And what's even wilder about that is I'm actually seeing people saying that they're gonna buy these joints on Fortnite just in case Nike tries to pull some type of move where they have exclusive access, and some of the criteria is that you had to purchase these joints via Fortnite. So whether it's a restock of these brick by bricks or maybe exclusive access for the latest upcoming Nigel Sylvester 4 release, it's just sad to see that these are the things that we have to do now as sneakerheads in 2025 in order just to grab some hype sneakers. And one of the reasons which I pretty much bow out when it comes to these overhyped drops, and I just kind of stick to the more general releases or whatever. So it looks like coming up May 22nd, you guys will be able to purchase these joints via Fortnite. All I could do is shake my head. Now, in other sneaker news, according to Kicks Finder, it looks like the Air Max Griffy 1 will be making a return coming up spring 2026. So as far as the colorway, this is the varsity blue pair, one of 3 of the original releases, which this sneaker dropped originally all the way back in '96. And it's just a testimony to the great releases that we had back in the '90s. You could put these right up there with classics such as like the DT Max. And when you even take a look at the Jordans that were dropping at that year, '96, late '95, we did see the 11s debut. So they continued to release new colorways in '96, including the iconic bread colorway. And then of course we did see the Jordan 12 Taxi make its debut in '96. So just so many great classics came out during that year. You could definitely stamp these as one of those. And with these returning, this is a sneaker which we always see Nike continue to re-release. It seems like year after year. It just feels like these joints just dropped like last year or something like that. But I would hate to see Nike try to do something special, like say try to hype these up, make these like the next DT Max or something like that. So be on the lookout as the Air Max 1 Varsity Royal, these are the Griffy joints, will be releasing coming up spring of 2026. And we got to touch on the NBA playoffs. Of course, we had a crazy game go down last night as the Minnesota Timberwolves lost to the OKC Thunder, for game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Now, the big highlight of this night, of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's looking to lock in the MVP honors. He led his team to the W with a little good 30 piece, during the second quarter or whatever. Things were looking kind of, even at the moment, but then in the third quarter, they kind of just like pulled away and everything. And he's really showing why he should be the real MVP. Now, the reason this is important here as far as sneakers and everything like that, you got pretty much Adidas going head to head versus Converse, who's under the Nike umbrella. Of course, you got Anthony Edwards with the AE1 versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander rocking his new silhouette, which they're calling the Shai 1, which is actually gonna be making his debut coming up here this fall. Now, if them boys can pull through and take it all the way to the finals, I feel like that's money that really advertising and marketing can't buy right there. So you already know Converse, they're definitely banking on him to be a big seller with his new debut silhouette. And I'm just saying, when we see these Shai 1s drop coming up this fall, who knows how things will turn out. Again, this is just game 1, but whoever takes it from the Western Conference into the finals, I feel like that's gonna be a big highlight that people are going to be taking a look at their sneakers. And when we see coming up next year, let's say if Shai is to overthrow Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves and take it all the way to the finals, I'm just saying next year when his sneaker drops, he could take some of that market share away from the Anthony Edwards line and Adidas. So we're gonna jump into today's fit of the day. And by the way, for anybody here from the community watching that would like to be showcased in my favorite segment, it's as simple as just tagging me on social media in one of your favorite outfit pics, whether that's over on the gram or over on Twitter. So stepping up to the plate today, we got Papa_Discreto, repping Charlotte, North Carolina. So you guys see bruh on feet, he's got the Jordan 14 black toe. The last time we saw that classic return, I want to say was what, like late last year. It's kind of difficult to keep up as far as so many different Jordans dropping, but definitely a classic. I like how he paired it up with the Dickies top. Now, as far as the pants go, what the hell are these Native American print looking ass joints right here? I ain't gonna lie, it kind of threw me off with the pants, but I would say bruh's definitely, you know, got confidence. Sometimes it's not always about what you're rocking, but how you're rocking it. So I see what he did right here. I kind of like it. And as far as the pants, while I wasn't a huge fan at first, let's just say like the background and everything, the fall vibes kind of sold me on it. So he did his thing. Y'all know what to do. Jump in the comments. You can give it a rating 0 out of 10 or just drop your feedback. So let's go ahead and keep things moving, guys. As far as today's premier Nike sneakers app release, we saw Nike drop the Kobe 9 Elite High Protro. This is the Kobe. So we're seeing these joints returning. Now, when it comes to the Kobe 9 High, while it's a sneaker silhouette, which I admire, you know what I mean? I definitely like the fact that they kind of went the boots direction. Well, I mean, boxing boots direction, you know, with the influence and everything like that. So they're cool and all that, you know, much love to Kobe, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen nobody rocking these joints right here, at least like off the court wise. So I kind of always feel like anytime Nike brings back these Kobe 9 highs, while it's a model I like, I usually see it as a tough sell. But as far as stock numbers go and everything like that, we did see roughly around like 9,000 pairs or so of these loaded up to the sneakers app. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty surprised to see that as I check the app, these joints are sold out. So I guess you could call that a big success for Nike. And then speaking of Kobe releases, on top of that, they surprised everybody with a good old-fashioned shock drop. So around 11 a.m. Eastern, we did see the Kobe Low, the Kobe's, you know, shock drop via the sneakers app. This is a shoe which definitely, you could say, a lot of people would say is a classic. We did see these sneakers actually drop earlier this year, around like April, I think. So for them to shock drop these, it's kind of crazy. They had the whole collection, they had the basketball, everything like that. So what's wild about them shock dropping these is not only the element of surprise, but just the amount of pairs that they release. So according to Eldon Monitors, for this shock drop stock numbers, we have roughly like around 19,000 pairs. So a decent amount for a surprise release. And on top of that, it seemed like a lot of people had success on this drop. They did have a little 2-minute draw window, but even as I monitor the release, like I jumped in there like maybe like 20 minutes or so after the release, and there was still a decent amount of sizes still available. So when it comes to these shock drops, I think it's a great way to kind of catch people off guard. And it's a cool way for, you know, real sneakerheads to be able to grab these. Like I know it's the element of surprise and everything like that, but sometimes it kind of just throws off like the scalpers and botters and everything like that. And sometimes just allows people, you know, to have a fair draw process via the sneakers app. So congratulations to everybody that hit. Let me know if you guys went for any of today's Kobe releases. Did you have luck with the highs, or did you get blessed with the shock drop for these the Kobe 8s? A lot of happy sneakerheads today, guys. And then before we bounce, of course, one of the big headlines making waves here in sneakers, Nike has announced that they are officially going to be increasing retail prices. Now, this was actually discovered as Nike has let retailers know that coming up here in the next couple of weeks or so, we can expect to see here as customers increases in retail prices. So that's officially going to be starting off in June. And then coming up in July, Nike's wholesale partners will also be affected as well. So of course, everybody knows the increases are due to government issued tariffs, which Nike's trying to kind of avoid that whole conversation and everything like that. But as far as the increases, we did learn that those will be anywhere from the range of $2 to $10, but they kind of kept things vague at that moment. But here, according to Soul Retriever, we got a big update in regards to those prices. Now, we already know Air Force Ones will not be affected, as well as kid sneakers and everything like that. But as far as products under $100, those won't be affected as well. So any sneaker that retails normally under $100, no worries about price increases like that. But of course, we all know when it comes to Nike's catalog, many sneakers, as far as like adult men's pairs, don't really fall under that less than $100 category. So that's cool and everything like that. It seems like for the more affordable stuff, Nike's trying to keep all of that stuff the same way it was. Now for shoes priced between $100 to $150, you can expect to see a $5 increase, and then for sneakers $150 and up, a $10 increase, which pretty much that's going to include everything when it comes to Jordan Brand, which as of now they have not made an official statement just yet, but pretty much all of your standard mainline Jordan retros do fall under that $150 and up category. So let me know what y'all think about this big update. Previously we did learn it'd be anywhere from $2 to $10, but based off of this recent report by Soul Retriever, one of the more trusted sources here in the sneaker space, it's looking like we can expect increases anywhere from the $5 to $10 range, which it doesn't seem to be huge, but just the amount of increases that we see time and time again, it seems like every year prices are increasing. It just feels like, you know, when is Nike gonna stop? Are we ever gonna get to a point where we're seeing shoes retailing for like $250 and up? That's gonna be real sad times. But as y'all know, with inflation, with tariffs, price increases are just kind of fair game and kind of what to expect here. So as a consumer, are you gonna be buying less shoes? Personally, I myself definitely will be, and I feel like that's the only really way, you know, we can let these companies know that they can't play with us like that. When it comes to like the average cost of a pair of sneakers from Nike, I would say costs probably are in like the $20 range or something like that. So I feel like for them, you know, putting these extra fees on the customers, it's just something that they could really eat up. I mean, they're already $1 billion companies. Like, how they gonna put it on us like that? But it is what it is. I feel like it ain't gonna stop nobody from buying the latest hype releases. So let me know what y'all think about the price increases. Did you guys have any success via today's shock drop? And as far as the Fortnite sneakers, are you guys copping them Nigels just in case Nike tries to pull some little crazy move and, you know, make that criteria for like, say, exclusive access or early drop or something like that? Let me know down below, guys. I appreciate everybody. If you guys enjoyed the update, smash the like button. Plus, if you made it all the way to the end, please let me know by dropping a salute down below. So JA News, I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.